The first thing we're going to do to make our diamond shape is we are going to start with our strip of fabric. So this strip of fabric is 2 inches, and to get us started on a 45-degree angle, you can either use your ruler or you can just make a few marks, and I'm going to show both ways, but this is the first way. So we're going to measure 2 inches because that is what the measurement is, what the strip measurement is. So I'm going to measure 2 inches and make a mark. The next thing I'm going to do is line up my ruler with the mark that I just made to the corner of the strip, and then I'm just going to make a cut. So this should be a 45-degree angle now, and you can double check that with your ruler. So on the ruler, I've got a 45-degree angle mark, so I can line up the bottom of the strip right here and then make sure that angle is 45 degrees. And it looks great. So now what I'm going to do to get a diamond shape is I'm going to turn my ruler and line the 2-inch measurement on my ruler to the edge of my strip. So I'm going to go ahead, move just a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and line up my 2-inch ruler with the measurement with the side or the angle side of that strip. Now, as you can see, my 45-degree angle is going to run right along this top edge of the strip. So I can line that up as well. So now I've got my 45 lined up as well as my 2 inches on the one side, and I am going to make a cut. So I can just scoot that down farther, go ahead and realign everything up again, and then make a cut. And then I'm going to just continue that for as many diamond shapes as I need. All right, so I have my strip ready, and this is a 2-inch strip. What I'm going to do is I'm going to line up my 45-degree angle on the ruler, and I'm going to line it up with this bottom line or the bottom edge of this strip. So I'm going to scoot my edge down so it hits this line on the mat, and then I am going to again line up my 45-degree angle along with this edge. And then I'm going to scoot this over until it hits that point right there. Now this to this should be 2 inches, but because our ruler is at an angle, it's going to look a little bit off. And then I'm going to make my cut. So I don't need this triangle, but here is my strip and it's ready to go. So now from this direction, again, I just repeat from the instructions before. I line up my ruler 2 inches along this angled edge. I can line up my 45-degree angle if I want along that top edge to make sure that I've got a nice, it's correct and a nice angle. And then I'm going to make the cut. And that gives me my diamond shape, and then I can just continue on like before. Let me show off the Lone Star block that I have finished. And this is part of the Trailblazer block of the month for 2023. And I've got my diamonds that I just cut. Now, as you can see, it kind of plays tricks on you because these are, you know, they look like they should be cut opposite, or that you should flip the fabric before you make your cut. But I'm going to show you that no matter if you are cutting this background diamond and then cutting this background diamond, they are going to be the same. So it's just rotating it through. You don't need to flip it or do anything different. Now, what you do need to pay attention to is, I guess, if you have a directional fabric that you really want to make sure is not upside down. So that's the only time that you would need to flip this. Otherwise, you can go ahead and just cut your diamonds that you need. And then with this block, I also wanted you to recognize that they are identical. So I've got the rust color here, and then I've got two kind of background, light background, because this is a dark background. So I've got rust, light background, and then I've got two light blues on the opposite sides of the center dark blue. And then I have another version of the background, kind of it's a cream version. And then I have one that has a dark red point. And the next one I make with the rust, two backgrounds, two light blues with a center dark blue, and two off color or off-white backgrounds. Then I've got a checkered or starred pattern fabric. So these two are the only ones that are going to be changing, and then they alternate in the star when you lay it out. So you're making 4 of these blocks, and then you will be making 4 of these blocks. But they really are identical. Again, when you cut your diamonds, you do not have to, they'll move where they need to go, because when you're sewing them up, they're all going to lay out like this. And then you are going to be turning and rotating them when you're putting them together or alternating. So that is how you can cut your diamonds for the Lone Star quilt block.